So, a very warm welcome to all the participants of this conversation. And today we have got a very interesting topic. And I would say this is a very unique concept. Respecting the dead has been a tradition all along. And we totally understand this because, after all, they were our dear, they were who we adored, we respected, they were our role models. And therefore, we need to respect them and we need to spend some time recollecting what they have taught us so that we don't stray from that path. But the Pitru Paksha is something much more than that. And to be able to understand this, we need to understand the Vedic and Yogic concept of life. In our culture, the body is secondary, the body is transient, meaning the body will come and go, but there is something deeper, subtler than the body, which is eternal. And life is a journey of this subtle, eternal principle. In the same manner as light in a bulb is the manifestation, but the principle behind is electricity. We can see light, but we cannot see electricity. In the same way, there is something known as the Jivatma, and there is something known as the Sthula Sharira. In our philosophy, the masters over millennia discovered that, while being happy is the purpose of this life, but life in itself extends beyond this body. I am not this body. I am not this mind. I am not the senses. There is something much more subtle and transcendental. That is who I am. But then the question arises, if I am that subtle principle, why is it that I need to manifest in the body? If I can remain in communion with myself and remain in that subtle state, so why come in the body after all? This is something which we first need to understand. Since creation began, there is a cycle of events which takes place, and every Jivatma has a set of karmas which guides the Jivatma. And if we really look at it, what is it that separates the Jivatma from the Paramatma? The Jivatma is smeared with a slightly erroneous perception, which is due to the karmic influence. It has been discovered that we need to work out our karmas. Karma kshaya. Kshaya means destruction. Usually, when we undertake a karma, it gives birth to another karma, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so forth. That vicious cycle of samsara, life and death, and life and death. All I desire, once I achieve, it creates another cycle, and third, and fourth, and fifth. That is how life is. And based on these karmic interlinks, the Jivatma, when the Jivatma leaves the body, the Jivatma goes into the next incarnation based on these karmic interlinkages. Depending on what my karmic linkages are, there is a matching which takes place. And based on that, I get the next incarnation. Based on the karmic interlinkages of the parents, they get the child. They are helping each other to work out karma. We forget about this. And I think it is this concept which is very essential. The aim of human existence is to be able to work out your karmas. You have a baggage of karmas, the seeds, and we need to clear that. Only then the insulation between us and the divine is broken. But I do not understand, if that is all what the aim is, then what is the necessity to assume one body after the third, after the fourth? Why can't I remain in that subtle essence of my being and work it out? This is the crux. The Jivatma, the Jivatma is unable to do any karmic activity when it is not in body. It is something like you earn a lot of money, and then based on that money and based on the points you earn, you go into a hotel, and as long as you are flush with money, as long as your coupon lasts, you can enjoy everything in the hotel. But once the coupon gets expired, it needs a renewal. Then you need to go back. You need to say, okay, vacation over, back to work. When we are on vacation, we are not earning. When we are working, that is the time we are earning. Now, when we are in body, that is the only time when we can either attract karma, more karma, or work it out. To be able to work out the karma, for being able to do karma kshaya, we need to take birth in the body. So this means that when we are in that stage, when we are not in the body, whatever our karmic seeds are there, they stay as they are. And when we will come back into the next incarnation, only then we can start working them out. That is the rule of nature. But our ancestors were very smart, and they were always in a hurry to get things done. They did not like wasting time. So they started thinking, look, if the aim is to get rid of karma, then is there any way that we can work out the karma when we are not in body also? Logically, the gross forms say that it is not possible. Vedantic scriptures very clearly mention that we have got three types of sharira: sthula sharir, sukshma sharir, karan sharir. The sthula and sukshma sharir end when this incarnation goes away, and the karmic seeds go into the karan sharir, and it is this karan sharir which goes ahead with the jivatma, with the pranic vehicle. Now, This is something which is very important. Our ancestors said there are 3-4 important points. I get my birth based on the karmic interactions, which is also known as Runanubandh, which means that there is some link between me and my ancestor. It is not a DNA link which we are speaking about, because mind you, the DNA vanishes when the body is dead. But when we are not in body, how is it that we are able to zero in on our parents? That is where the matrix of karma comes in. Now, because of this, there is a linkages. If I am able to zoom in to my parents because of karmic linkages, then it also stands to reason that the same linkage to whatever degree can exist when my ancestor has left his or her body and gone beyond, because the karmic linkages have not gone away. They become sukshma, and from sukshma they go into karan sharir, but they still are there. So our ancestors started thinking, if that is the case, what can we do by which we can exploit this connection and work towards emancipation of karmas of our ancestors? But why is it so essential? Why that Jivatma came to life, did what they needed to do, we were born, he went on his path, I go on my path. Why do I have to worry about that person who has passed away? Our ancestors also found that because of this linkages, Runanubandha linkages which are there, karmic linkages which are there, they have an impact on our manifested life. So therefore, it is actually a interlinked connection. If there is a positive feedback, we get a positive feedback back. If there's a negative feedback, then we get a negative feedback back. Our ancestors started working in this lane because they realized that if some way we can balance the karmic activity of those ancestors who have passed away, that reduces our karmic load too. Because we have to understand and realize that while karma is individual, there is also something known as a collective karma. And this collective karma has a very powerful and indirect but pertinent impact on our lives. So, how can we start working on that? This is the basis of Pitr Paksha. I am not going to go into the details of how do we do the tarpan and what do we do. Those are rituals. I am trying to discuss the concept behind these activities. We have now established that there is a potential link between me and my ancestors. So, something going wrong in my ancestors is going to create an impact for me too. Something which is unfulfilled there can impact me here. And therefore, they started looking into ways and means of connecting to those departed souls. This has nothing to do with the body. This has to do with the soul. And As I had mentioned earlier, when the Jivatma leaves, the Jivatma takes the Karan Sharir and the Pranic vehicle takes it across. This is how we connect to those people. But to be able to connect to those people, we need connection from both sides. It is not every person. Our ancestors, our forefathers, they realized, they discovered with a lot of research over generations that not every person is able to maintain a good, strong connection. There have to be ways by which the pranic energy is needed to be maintained. There has to be a way by which few things have to be done. This is what slowly and slowly and slowly distilled into the ritual of Pitru Tarpan. In Pitru Paksh, we offer to our ancestors, not only to my father, but to my mother too. Not only to my parents, but to my grandparents too. And it goes on minimum for 3 generations. They say that minimum link is 3 generations, but the impact stays from 7 generations. There is an impact which is there. And not only on the father's side, but also the mother's side. Both the lineages impact us. This connection can be maintained after I die if I have prepared for it during my life and doing the various sadhanas, doing the various practices. It builds up the pranic content, the channels, the pathways. And those pathways, after the body has gone, those pathways remain patent, open. Then my descendant, through this procedure, can make the connection. And whatever are my karmas, I am no longer in body, but I have a list of 10 karmas, let us say. My descendant can work so that from the 10 karmas, maybe it just boils down to 2 or 3 or whatever, or the impact reduces. That impact reduces, and because the impact reduces on the subtle dimension and the connection is circular, that has a positive impact on the descendant too. That is the reason why we have to do the shraddh. After the body passes on, it is said that you need to do shraddh every month, and then at the end of the year. And people, when I had gone to Char Dham, I was speaking to somebody who was quite an elderly person, and we were speaking about how the pathways and everything is very convenient and very easy and all that stuff. So he was telling that when he was young, that person was in his maybe 70s or mid 70s. So he was saying that when he was young, people would at that time go for Char Dham, and when a person is going for Char Dham, it was almost guaranteed that he might not return because the path was so difficult. There were no roadways, no ponies, nothing. It was in the middle of the jungles. It was in the middle of the mountains. You don't know how to go, where to go, who is there, what is there. So you have to do a lot of effort, and many times they would die. So he said that it was a tradition, a custom, that when you go for Char Dham, you do your shraddh and then go. Why? Why do I do have to why do I have to pay that much money? Why? When we are looking at it from the dimension of the body, it doesn't make sense. But When you do that, then you are keeping that connection active and open. And our descendants, when they perform these activities, they maintain that connection, helping the ancestor and the descendant both, allowing them to cut away the karma kshaya. So, karma kshaya is for people like us the means for moksha, going beyond the body, the mind, the senses, and experiencing the Atma, Satchid Anand Atma. But even if that is not the aim of my life, because that is not the aim of 99% of the people on planet Earth. However, every person on planet Earth has some or the other desire, and they are looking for fulfillment of that desire. Then that is the satisfaction that yes, I have achieved this. To be able to achieve a desire, you need appropriate resources. To be able to attain those resources, you need to upgrade your skills and your skill set and your inherent nature. If I am a buffoon, I cannot earn enough money. I can't get the Mercedes or Tesla or this, that, the other. So if I want to get that Mercedes or Tesla, then I need to earn good money. And to earn good money, I need to skill myself. That is my dharma. I have increased my dharma. I have been able to get my artha. Then I can fulfill my kamana. And when the kamana is fulfilled, then we are released from that thing which is bugging us. And then we move ahead in life. Maybe another desire. That's a different story. But the beauty is that even if I need to work with this chain, I need to maintain my upgradation. Again, karmas come as a stumbling block there too. I can't remember anything. I try to read, I try to remember. I can't remember anything, so I don't pass my exams, I don't earn money. No, because that was my karma. Now, through this, without any excessive effort, I am able to start cutting away those karmas and progress in life, upgrade my dharma, upgrade my artha, upgrade my kamana, achieve my kamana, and released from that, we go to the next. Till the time I have not achieved that first scooter, I don't feel comfortable. The moment I have purchased the scooter, I am happy. And once I am happy, I have fulfilled this. So another desire comes in. So another cycle comes in. And again, you have to upgrade yourself and get more resources, etc. That keeps going on. For that too, we need clarification of our karmas. So, if it is the Nivritti Marg or the Pravritti Marg, both places, karmic clearance is essential. It is not possible for everybody to understand this subtle science behind it. And therefore, a procedure was created and told, you do this in the same manner as the electrician who comes to our house to lay down the electric cable does not understand the details of the electrons, does not understand how electricity is generated, does not understand the magnetic effect of electric current, does not understand the heating effect of electric current. But he does know that if you are going to pass electric current from one thing, do not coil your wire and keep, let it loose. He doesn't know why the heating takes place. He will know that if you keep the wire coiled and apply the current, it is going to heat and it is going to burst. Why it happens? He doesn't know. The science behind it, he doesn't know. But what to do, how to do, he knows very well. That is the difference between an electrician and an electronic scientist. An electronic scientist codifies and lays down a structure. The electrician applies that structure. Most of 99.99% people are more than happy having the electrician come to us. They don't even need to know how to do the electric stuff. Just they hire an electrician, get it done, job done, they get light, they are happy. Our ancestors knew this, so they codified it into a system. And one of the very subtle and important aspect is that the dimension, which is the subtle dimension, it will not have the gross or manifested material going there, but the essence of that material is always given. And therefore, one thing which is very essential is the sense of smell. You will see whenever you are doing any puja, there's always, it is nice and clean and there's nice fragrance all around, because that fragrance reaches that dimension. Even the food which we offer, the subtle aspect of that aroma is taken and that subtle dimension works on it. Third dimension is that of the pranic energy which works through mantra. There are vidhis which generate that pranic energy also. So these together have. The fourth dimension is there is a possibility of a proxy. If you can connect and make that proper connection, somebody in body becomes a medium for somebody without body. I am not speaking about those seances and trance and all that. No, planchet, etc. No, 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 no. This is not that. Because any person is a jivatma. And when you do a good deed, helping that jivatma, there is a blessing which comes. Now, with proper mantras, proper uh, channelization, this blessing which comes can be directed to those ancestors. So we have the vidhi wherein we do the tarpanam and all the mantras. And then we have the vidhi where we do annadanam. For those of us who have been blessed not to go hungry at night, would not know how hunger is. But those who are poor, they don't get food to eat. They are troubled. They are agitated. They are in great pain, agony. And when to such people we offer food, it makes an impact. And this impact we channelize to them, not to us. Through us, through the connection we have to them, we channelize it to them. And of course, because we channelize it to them, it comes return back to us manifold. But it is directed towards them, not to me. Idam na mama. So this is the basic principle through which the entire Pitr Paksh activities take place. And why this period? There are lots of stories about it. One story is that Raja Karna was a great Dani. He went to heaven after Mahabharata war, and over there, when it was lunchtime, they brought a plate full, and he said, "Oh wow, very nice. It was made of gold, and everything was glittering over there." But when he tried to eat it, it was made of gold, so he couldn't eat it. He was irritated, and this went on for a few days. Now he was really annoyed. And one day he heard that Brahmadev is coming on around, checking if everything is okay or not. He said, "Okay, this is my chance. I'm going to talk to him and set things right. These guys, they are not giving me any food." So Brahmadev comes round and he says, "Oh, is everything okay? Everything fine?" Comes to Karna and he smiles at Karna. "Oh, Danveer Karna, wow, wonderful, great. I hope everything is fine and okay." Now, when Brahmadev himself has come, you can't just blurt out. So Karna was also a king, so he knew the decorum. So yes, 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 everything is nice, everything. And then gently he said that, there's a small thing. As Brahmadev was about to leave, he says, "Yeah, there's a small thing." So he turns around and says, "Yes." He says, "They give me beautiful plate, nice decorated, but it is all made of gold. There's no food. I can't eat anything. I'm feeling very hungry. I'm very weak. Why is this? I see that others are getting good food. Why am I being singled out? What I have done wrong?" Brahmadev smiled very compassionately and knowingly, and he said that, "You see, you are getting a gold plate because you are a Danavir. All your life you have done lot of gold donation, and that's why not an ordinary plate, gold plate. Unfortunately, you have not done any annadan in your life. So therefore, in that dimension, we can't give you anything. You have not earned enough points for that." But then King Karna says that, "But I was not aware of this." Well said, "Sorry, we can't do anything. That's how the rules are." And Karna says, Brahmadev is not going away. He was just, pausing. So Karna, he thought quickly and he says, "Is there some way out? Is there something I can do?" That is the time Brahmadev said that these 15 days allow you, go back down and do Annadanam. And when you do Annadanam, then you can come back and have this. So it is not necessary that Karna came back in body, and this is an allegory to teach us that in this period, the connection between planet Earth and that planet or that dimension, that loka, where these ancestors reside, the connection is very, very close and strong. Just like if you have a tower and if you are away from the tower, the mobile network is low. But if you are very close to the tower, the network is strong. So, in that sense, the connection during this period is very, very strong, very, very easy to attain. When we are far away, the voice is garbled, we can't listen to what is being said. But when we are close in good connection, everything happens very smoothly. You have to make a bank transfer, it goes it goes quickly. Otherwise, it keeps, that it keeps going gol gol gol, chakkar kaatte rehta hai. So that is this period, 15 days. And look how it is organized. 15 days of Ganesha, Vigna Harta. Then 15 days of our ancestors, where all those balancings are created. And after that, Devi comes in, so that there is activity which is cleared, which is focused, which is directed. Then we can move ahead. If our legs are hamstrung, the story of hamstrung is that there are muscles in the back of our thighs which are known as the hamstrings. In olden times, they used to make a hook on these muscles, and the horses would not be able to run at all. No matter what effort they would do, they can't move. That is why they say, "Oh, he's hamstrung with this." Origin is somewhere else. So, same way, we are hamstrung because of these past connections. We clear that connection, and then the energy available through Devi Aradhana arouse us to rush ahead in life. That is why Ganesha Nirvignam Kuru. Then the Pitaras clearing out all the hamstrings. Then you get ready and start running. Otherwise, when you are hamstrung, you'll keep running but reach nowhere. So that is the sequence which is there. And the system is of Annadanam, of giving gifts, not out of misery, not out of duress, not out of being forced, but because by doing it, we are clearing their karmic bondages and enabling us to. Earlier, it used to be given to Brahmins because in those days, Brahmins had a very clear code of conduct. They would live on alms, they would not earn any living, they would spend time in their sadhana accumulating the pranic energy, and therefore they had very strong connection with those aspects if need be, so they were able to do it. In today's times, things have changed, so therefore we have to look for ways by which we can connect across. That is where Daridra Narayan Annadanam comes in, because that he who is very hungry, the blessings from that person, they are the strongest. And when we take that sankalp, then the blessings are directed to that person. In the same way as when we take the sankalp and we invoke the divine energy, we provide the coordinates, and based on that coordinates, the energy comes, then it is utilized for that purpose. In the same way, now there is a reverse activity taking place. Something is happening, the impact of that with the sankalp is being directed to that dimension. Unmanifest to manifest, manifest to unmanifest, happening through the Agni Tattva. That is the essence. So it is with this aspect that we are working with the Pitaras in this Pitru Paksh. And during this time, nothing else is important. Don't waste time in anything else, because this connection is the strongest. Utilize it. Make hay while the sun shines. You want the grass to turn into hay. That can only happen when the sun is shining. So when the sun is shining, quickly bring the grass out and lay it out. When it is raining and you put it out, it's not going to convert to hay. This is the time when the this sun is shining. And so we make hay for this dimension. So make utilization of what is happening. And by doing that, we bring peace to those departed souls, so that when they take next incarnation, they are already reduced their karmic load. And because of our connection with them, we also benefit. But it is not only for our ancestors. Tarpan takes place actually for three different levels. One is the Pitru Tarpan, one is the Rishi Tarpan, one is the Deva Tarpan. Concept is the same. It just gets subtler and subtler and stronger. That is all. So this is how students of yoga and Vedanta should understand these aspects. And having done that, then it is time for us to act. If we don't act, we are not going to get the hay. you just get grass as is. So that is how our ancestors devised our entire year. Even if I don't apply any mind and I follow the pattern very slowly and certainly, I keep on improving, upgrading myself. And upgrade we always want. Nobody wants to be unhappy. Everybody wants to be happy. And to be able to be happy, fulfillment of desire is needed. For fulfillment of desire, resources are needed. For resources, your abilities are needed. So, this is how everything can start coming in like a jigsaw puzzle, clicking in place. Pitru Tarpan, Pitru Paksha is one of those jigsaw puzzles. When we do things in this manner, then there is an impact. Hari Om, Tat Sat, Namo Narayan, Jai Ho.
क्वेश्चन है
Yeah, if there are any questions, please raise your hand so that we can take them one by one.
I'm मिल नहीं रहा है रेज कॉल नहीं मिल रहा है
Yeah, go ahead, you can ask. Yes, Lakshmikant ji, boliye.
I am born in this family, and last family I was not. I might be in some other family. So, what is the connection of ancestors earlier or this?
This.
Or with
Are you in your previous body or are you in this body?
this body? Certainly.
You are in this body. So therefore, see, are you in a tram? Are you in a car? Are you in a bicycle? Or are you in a motorcycle? Based on that, you will decide what is the path to be taken. Even in Google also, it says, na, how are you going? Are you going by car or by two-wheeler or by bus or by walking? And accordingly, the path also changes according to the direction and duration, etc. Everything changes. In the same manner, whichever vehicle you are using now, that is the path you have to choose. This is the body is your vehicle. So this body is important.
One more short question.
Hmm?
If somebody
Shall we take one
doesn't-
question at a time so that we can give?
Okay.
So we'll come back to you afterwards again. Yes, Tanu.
नमो नारायण स्वामी जी।
Namo Narayan ji.
स्वामी जी, अगर आपके घर में कोई बिलीव नहीं करता, if nobody believes in your house, and normally they say tarpan should be done by the male child. A, what do you do if you don't have, if there is not a male child? B, if there is a male child and they don't do it, can you as a daughter do it?
That vidhi which is done, it is a little bit difficult, but you can get somebody to do it on your behalf. There are rules for that. So that is one thing. And the other thing is that the sankalp can be a vidhivat sankalp or it can be a mental sankalp. The strength of the vidhivat sankalp is because there is an invocation of pranic energy, so it becomes stronger. But if when you take the sankalp, your mind is agitated, again the strength goes down. So the subtle aspect is the
mental connection,
focus of your mind when you want it. So if it is not possible to do the vidhivat sankalp, as you mentioned, that there are places where people are not comfortable with it. So in that situation, you can take the mental sankalp that yes, this is the annadanam I am doing, this is the worship I am doing, this is whatever I am doing, and it is for that. Sit for few moments, try and become aware of your body, try and become aware of the subtle aspects, visualize the connection between us and our forefathers, for mothers, and then mentally say in English, in Hindi, in Gujarati, in Punjabi, in whichever language, because it is the language of the heart which is important. That look, I would like to do this for you. This is there, and whatever positive energy is accrued from this activity, I will direct it towards you. That when you do it with practice, that has a similar impact. So, if it is not possible for you to do the Vidhivat aspect, sit down, quieten your body, quieten the mind. In the same way जैसे हम लोग ध्यान के लिए जाते हैं, उसी प्रकार से करके मन को स्थिर कर देना है, और मन को स्थिर करके उस दिशा में संकल्प लेना है. Yes, this is the activity I am going to do for you.
Hello.
यथा ज्ञानेन यथा मिलितोपचार द्रव्यैः. So, as much as I know, and based on the
Right.
things available to me.
Hold it, huh?
So, it is not always that every ritual is essential. No, based on what is available. That is how, because whatever is available is just a medium to take things to the subtle dimension. But if by yoga you know how to go to that dimension, you can just go directly. So, उस प्रकार से आप करने से
कर सकते हैं.
उसी प्रकार से फल मिलता है.
Thank you.
Yes, Nivedita.
नमो नारायण स्वामी जी. ऐसा कहते हैं कि जब कोई चल बसता है तो उनका दूसरा जन्म होता है, मे बी मानव हो या पशु कोई भी हो, लेकिन दूसरा जन्म हो जाता है. तो हम जब तर्पण वगैरह करें तो उनको कैसे पहुंचेगा?
आप इसलिए सोच रहे हैं क्योंकि आप शरीर के लेवल पर देख रहे हैं. Let me put it in a slightly different manner. Today, you have, let us say, you are wearing an orange dress. You are in a salwar kurta. And you are talking to somebody who is in a blue dress and is in shirts and trousers. Tomorrow, when you telephone them, perhaps you are in a sari and that person is in Bermudas and t-shirt, tank top, whatever. Does that person change? Are you able to talk to that person even if you have changed your clothes? How? How are you able to do that? Because the communication has nothing to do with the clothes you are wearing. In the same way, the body, which is the vehicle, has little to do. Of course, it has everything to do, because the body which I get is determined by the karmic layout. So, therefore, it is not totally unrelated, but I can contact that person in spite or despite the dress I am wearing. It doesn't make much of a difference. Same way, the energetic field goes across. Certainly, it works for them and works for us and works for everybody in between too. That is how it is. The dress you wear has very little to do with the degree of communication. आप कौन से शरीर में हैं उससे ज्यादा कोई फर्क नहीं.
कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है, ये समझ में आया.
नमो नारायण.
और ये पक्ष में अगर कोई चल बसता है तो उनको डायरेक्ट मुक्ति मिलती है?
Now that's a totally different question. You see, ये पक्ष में जाते हैं तो हम पितरलोक में जाएंगे ना. मुक्ति का मतलब क्या है? वो उसके परे जाना होता है. तो पितरलोक तक जाएंगे. उसका और like when you pass away in this period, what is that impact? Doesn't is not determined only by the physical time. It is said that when you pass away in Uttarayan, then you go to the higher dimensions, you go to moksha. So is it that every person who dies in these 6 months has attained moksha? No. That Uttarayan is a subtle thing. Read Bhagavad Gita. Very clearly it is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. All these aspects have been spoken of very clearly. You get the hint. See, there is a hint which is there. Internally, we need to be in Uttarayan Kal. Internally, if we are in Dakshinayan Kal. Internally, if you are in Saura Mandal. Internally, you are in Chandra Mandal. Things make a difference. That is how. That's a totally different and a whole dimension in itself. Enough to say that just external event is not the only criteria for reincarnation or transcendence. Namo Narayan. Sona,
Thank you, sir.
you'll have to unmute yourself.
नमो नारायण स्वामी जी.
Namo Narayan ji.
नमो नारायण स्वामी जी. मैं सोना शर्मा.
जी कहिए.
स्वामी जी, हम लोग अनेकों लोगों से मिलते हैं स्कूल, कॉलेज, आश्रम में, लेकिन किसी किसी एक या दो लोगों के साथ, कभी कभी एक ही लोगों के साथ, ऐसे क्यों लगता है कि हमारा पहले से रिश्ता रहा है पुनर्जन्म में, या एक खिंचाव सा, एक लगाव सा, चाहे बात हो या ना हो, लेकिन ऐसे क्यों लगता है ये मेरा अपना है, पहले से एक आत्मा में कनेक्शन ऐसा होता है. तो ये क्या सच में पुनर्जन्म का है या
वो
मेरा
उसी
केवल
नहीं उसी को ऋणानुबंध भी बोलते हैं. उसी को ऋणानुबंध भी बोलते हैं. कभी कभी वो व्यक्ति के मन का वहम भी हो जाता है, लेकिन कभी कभी वो ऋणानुबंध भी होता है. तो जब वो हम सूक्ष्मता में जाएंगे तब हमको पता चलता है. एक बहुत सुंदर उदाहरण बतलाता हूं. एक व्यक्ति महाबलेश्वर के बगल से गाड़ी से जा रहा था. उसको महाबलेश्वर नहीं, माथेरान. माथेरान तो एक बहुत सुप्रसिद्ध हिल स्टेशन है. माथेरान इज अ वेरी फेमस हिल स्टेशन. So he was going from near that area. He was in his own car. And suddenly a thought came to his mind. Oh, come on. We are so close. We have time. Let's go to Matheran. So he goes to Matheran. He doesn't know why that thought has come. He is also, look, I have to go maybe to Bombay or to Pune, whichever is my destination. And I'm going across this path. Why am I go this path many times? Why is it that now I'm thinking this way? I don't know. Chalo, man mein aa gaya, chalo jate hain. We have time. He goes to Matheran. He roams around here. He goes there. And then at one point he says, "Nahi, yahan nahi jayenge." He keeps on walking here, there. At one point, he just stops somewhere, goes to a shop, and speaks to the owner. And just says, "Oh, I'm feeling very nice. I would like to give you 100 rupees. And then he says, "Look, I don't really know why I want to give you 100 rupees. This is something which is a little bit not natural for me. It doesn't happen all the time, but I feel very strong urge to give you 100 rupees. बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है आपको दे करके." So that person says, and he smiles and says, "Yes, because in the last life, you had taken 100 rupees from me. And due to circumstances, you are not able to repay that. And now the EMI for that has matured. So you need to repay that to me. It is that calling which made you choose this path nearby Mathiran. It is that calling which made you want to come to Mathiran. It is that calling which made you come to this path on Mathiran, inside Mathiran. And it is that calling which made you come here. You don't realize it. I know it because I do sadhana. I'm aware of it. I was waiting for you for this. तो ये जो बात होती है ना, तो वो ऋणानुबंध की बात होती है. अब ऋणानुबंध हो या नहीं हो, एक चीज जरूरी है कि अगर ऋणानुबंध है भी या मन का वहम भी है, उसमें ज्यादा समय बर्बाद नहीं करना है. वो है ये जान गए, उससे हम अपने आप को ऊपर कैसे उठा सकते हैं, वो ज्यादा जरूरी है. क्योंकि स्वामी जी हमेशा बोलते थे, गॉड गिव्स अस अ रोप, इट इज अप टू अस if you use the rope to climb up, or you put it round our neck and hang ourselves with it. भैया रस्सी तो आपके हाथ में दे दी है. Now how you make that, how you use that rope is up to us. If we are not aware, we might hang ourselves with it, gets stuck. When we are aware, then we are able to make utilization. So I would say more important than ये ऋणानुबंध की जो बात कही है, ऋणानुबंध तो होता है, जो आप बोल रहे हैं ना, किसी एक व्यक्ति के लिए होता है, हो सकता है ऋणानुबंध है. तो जब वो ऋणानुबंध है, तो मैं इस जीवन में उसका किस प्रकार से उपयोग करके अपना और सामने वाले व्यक्ति का भला कर सकूं, इस पर हम लोगों को ज्यादा ध्यान देना होता है.
नमो नारायण स्वामी जी, थैंक यू.
नमो नारायण जी.
नमो नारायण स्वामी जी.
नमो नारायण जी.
नमो
Yes.
नारायण स्वामी जी.
बसंती जी बोलिए.
Yes, yes. We have been following all the rituals as told by our brother. Now I would like to share a peculiar thing about my father-in-law, because he was a very liberal thinking person who thinks very liberally, and he was bedridden for 7 years, and I have really taken very good care of him.
Mhm.
I've ensured that everything, whatever he wished, I've provided everything.
Mhm.
It was his wish before his death
Mhm.
that he said, after my death, ensure that you don't do any shraddha and all for me.
Mhm.
Okay. He
Mhm.
said, when I was alive, you have given me everything, and I'm very, very content and I'm very happy. Had it not been the other way, you might have not taken good care of me, not given a proper food. But after my death, you would have done all the rituals. You would have put all the jalebis, ghee, everything to my photo. Okay.
Hmm.
So that I don't want. So it was his wish that I should not do any vidhi and all. So now in such situations, what was expected of me? But still, I ensured that I did, because it was my wish that I should do him. Because all these years, everything I have done, it should not happen that only this last wish of his is not fulfilled. So after his death, I ensured that whatever vidhi was there, I got it done at home.
Mhm. Mhm.
So in this situation, now what is the proper way?
Proper way for what?
Means by doing it, I was right, or by not doing it, I was right.
Very good question. Have you been a mother?
Yes.
Very good. So, has there been a time when your child has got high fever and tonsillitis?
Yes.
During that time, if the child says, "Ma, please give me ice cream."
Oh, I will surely not give him.
Oh, but my child is asking for ice cream. How can I not give it to him? He will be so sad.
Because at that point of time, maybe other situations okay, but not at that situation.
Correct. So now, due to whatever systems, perhaps for whatever reasons, let's not go into that aspect. The dying person is saying, "I don't want all of that." Fair enough.
Okay.
Here, you are like the mother. You have to understand what the child is saying.
Okay.
You tell the child, you don't say, "No, I will not give you, you don't have to be rough and gruff.
Yes,
You can
yes.
say nicely, okay, ठीक है, we'll
Yes.
get you ice cream.
Yes.
Just get better and then we'll give you ice cream. That's what
Yes.
you say,
हाँ,
otherwise तो बच्चे तो मानते नहीं है.
बराबर है.
उसी प्रकार से जी ठीक है. और
हम्म,
उस चीज के लिए आप उनके लिए see why is it that he doesn't want, you see, you have mentioned it very nicely and very clearly.
हम्म,
You have said that मेरे जीते जी मेरा तो ख्याल किया नहीं और
हम्म.
मेरे मरने के बाद मेरे फोटो को आप मिठाई और जलेबी खिलाते जाइएगा, क्या
हाँ,
फायदा है? I mean,
yes,
you have not done that, but that
yes,
was the bhav. So you have
yes,
to understand, many times people miss, अरे भाई लोग क्या कहेंगे, अरे अपने
yes,
माँ के मृत्यु के लिए, अपने सासू ससुर के मृत्यु के लिए उन्होंने कुछ नहीं किया, इसलिए मिठाई बनाओ, इसलिए खिलाओ. अरे it is not for social purposes. It is for a
exactly.
deeper purpose, because your father-in-law likes it or not, the atma is going to go on that eternal journey, and on
Hmm.
that eternal journey it is this subtle things which are going to be his shidori.
Hmm. Right.
अब बच्चा बोलता है, नो मॉम आई विल बी ऑल ओके, डोंट गिव मी एनीथिंग, बट देन
Hmm.
व्हाट डज द मदर डू? क्वाइटली, इन द बैग वो थोड़ा 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 डाल करके रख देती है, बिकॉज शी नोज कि जब भूख लगेगी तब बच्चा खोजने वाला है, तो डाल करके रखते हैं. बस वही चीज करना है.
Okay.
You have to understand, because in between we had forgotten the logic behind these activities,
Exactly.
and we were just doing it without understanding it. And that is why he was saying. So his objection was to the
Rituals.
mechanical activity without understanding. Now, when we are
Okay.
doing it with understanding, he will not have a problem, because
Ah.
you have caught the essence
Hmm.
of what that
Yes.
is how.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Because at that point of time I was very much in a confused
Upset.
state,
Yeah.
because people were saying, "अरे ऐसा कैसे है? तू श्राद्ध नहीं करने वाली है." I said, "चलो ठीक है," because I ensured that I got all the vidhis done at home, but it was not a pomp and show कि बाबा इतने लोगों को खिलाओ, उतने लोगों को बुला. I said my conscience was very clear कि I wanted to do for him and I got it done. That's it.
Exactly. So, and so now in this period, you just have to visualize him
हाँ,
and say that for your further journey,
हाँ.
I do this and send this in a subtle manner to you, so that
Okay.
your further journey
Hmm.
continues unhindered without a
Okay.
problem. That's all what
Okay.
we have to do.
Okay. Thank you,
All right.
Guruji. I'm so relaxed today. All these years it was, I had that in my mind. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Namo Narayan.
Namo Narayan.
Yes, Sakhi.
Namo Narayan, Swamiji.
Namo Narayan ji.
Swamiji, very often it happens that out of both our parents, sometimes we feel more connected or driven towards the attributes of one of our parents.
Sorry,
So,
आपका आवाज थोड़ा ब्रेक कर रहा है. I'm not able to hear you clearly.
I'm sorry. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Swamiji, many times it happens that very often we feel more attached or driven towards the attributes of one of our parents, and we feel like we are gaining the attributes of those parents, or maybe more inspired by them, and feel disconnected towards the others. So, is it that we voluntarily form it, or is it that there is some connection from previous life that develops?
This is a very, delicate question, because we have to be very, very, very clear that many of our understandings, many of our habits are formed by observing our parents. I will give you an example. In the ashram, there was Bal Yog Shivir, and there was a young child, maybe 4, 5. He was the younger brother of a elder sibling who had come. And this child, he was, anything, something happens which he did not like or anything, he would burst out into such bad words that everybody used to be extremely shocked. And people came to me saying that, Swamiji, please tell them, this boy is giving so many bad words, it's not good. So then I, for some time, observed the child. And because I knew the mother also, and I also knew what was happening, the father of this child was given to using foul language. At the drop of a hat, he would use foul language, and that is all the child had seen all his life. So the child felt that that is how I should behave. So he did not even understand the significance of the bad words he was using, but he knew my father uses it, so I'm using it. So many of our habits and attributes, and many times our likings and dislikings, also are drawn from parents or those who are around us in that formative age, impressionable age of our life. Because this is a matter of karma, if this is happening, we have to understand it, that this is something which we have to grow beyond. We have to learn from this and work ahead. As practitioners of yoga, we have to take it in this manner, not only in the social aspect. अरे आपने ऐसे क्यों नहीं किया, आपने मुझे ऐसे क्यों नहीं सिखाया, माँ लोगों को ऐसे करना होता है या पिताओं को ऐसे करना होता है. I'm just giving, random examples. It is happening because I have to learn something from that, and I have to grow further. So I have to use that for growing further. So that is the step number one. Step number two, when we go deeper and deeper, then we will be able to understand if attraction towards one parent and indifference to another parent is because of our impression of one parent, and therefore we are reflecting the emotions of the parent, or is it my own thing, or is it so. This is something which we have to sit down, close our eyes. That is the aspect of antarmaun. When you start observing yourself, you are not judging yourself. है, अपने पिता का इतना भी सम्मान नहीं करते हो, कितने गंदे बच्चे हो. No, that is not, that is out in the society. Inside, this is what is happening. And you sit down and analyze, put on your Sherlock Holmes cap and start analyzing. Oh, this is happening, that is happening, that is happening. And then slowly and slowly, you are able to work it through. Point number two. Point number three. Swamiji is to say, every child is inherently divine. Now, it is the child who grows into an adult. So the divinity is hidden in every person. ऐसा कोई व्यक्ति नहीं है जिसके जीवन में कोई अच्छी चीज नहीं हो. भगवान दत्तात्रेय के 24 गुरु थे. अरे वो तो वेश्या से भी कुछ सीख लिए. जनरली तो वेश्या को तो बहुत बुरा मानते हैं ना, वो तो उन्होंने वेश्या से भी सीख लिए, तोता से भी सीख लिए, जो गांव की महिला थी उससे भी सीख लिए. वो हमारा देखने का दृष्टिकोण होना जरूरी है. Every person has something good in him or her. So let us look at that person very honestly and understand and find out what are the good qualities from my father. Look at my mother. What are the good qualities from my mother? I take that. Secondly, I also observe my father. What are the drawbacks he is having? Oh, okay. These are the drawbacks. He behaves this way, and see, that is how he is getting in pain, in sorrow. वो for example गुस्सा बहुत करते हैं, लेकिन हम ये भी दिखते हैं कि गुस्सा करने के बाद उनको मन में बहुत ग्लानि होती है, and he suffers a lot due to that. I'm just giving a random example. Please don't apply it to your father or your mother. ऐसे नहीं कीजिएगा. Just एक random example ले रहे हैं. Oh, so if I am in a situation, I should not lose my temper that way. I'm trying to learn from the mistakes of my parents. Of course, when I come to that situation, there are good chances that I will also make that mistake. But if I am aware, I will prevent it, I will minimize the impact, and maybe after 1 or 2 times, I will improve. My father, maybe he was a timid person and he had so many opportunities, but because of his sense of inferiority, he did not make use of it because there was something which was bugging him. Maybe he did not speak English, or maybe he was not, whatever. So I observe and I realize, oh, this is there. And when I face a similar situation, I also respond similarly. But because I have observed it and I have understood it, I am able to overcome it much faster than my father. That is how I learn from my father and my mother and everybody around us, by picking up their good points and observing their drawbacks, analyzing it, not to say that you are bad and she is bad and for gossip, but so that I understand that when I am in that situation, I will not make the same mistake. Kaam khatam. You have learned the lesson. And by doing so, because you are related both to your father and your mother, you will be doing something by which both of them on a subtle level will benefit, knowingly or unknowingly. That is how we should approach the situation.
Namo Narayan, Swamiji.
Namo Narayan ji. Yes, Vidya ji. I think this is the last question. It's already, we are 15 minutes beyond.
Namo Narayan, Swamiji.
Namo Narayan.
Mine is a very simple, straightforward question.
Chalo,
For
very good.
married women, whether the ancestors are their parents or their in-laws.
देखिए, married women are very lucky. They have got 2 sets of parents, our parent and our in-laws also. Don't limit yourself. भाई, जितने लोगों की हम सेवा कर सकते हैं, उतना आशीर्वाद हमको मिलेगा, हम आगे बढ़ते जाएंगे. दोनों का हम लोगों को प्रार्थना करनी होती है. And
Namo Narayan, Swamiji.
when in the vidhi, there is a mention from your side and from your spouse side also. वो सबके लिए होता है. So वो इसमें वो नहीं, जितना ज्यादा लोगों का हम लोग कर सकेंगे उतना अच्छा ही रहता है. So both the parents. चलिए जी. So with this, let us conclude and hope that you spend your Pitr Paksh period in the same manner. We at SSYRF, at every Pitr Paksh, we have identified a tribal school. बहुत गरीब बच्चे रहते हैं. उनके the school, it's a privately run school. They bring all these children from different places. They have provided a hostel and they teach them and do everything. So we offer food to those people, those who are down and out. जो गरीब से गरीब होता है उसको हम लोग देते हैं. क्योंकि देखिए, पुराने जमाने में ब्राह्मण जो होते थे ना, वो सेल्फ इम्पोज्ड पॉवर्टी में रहते थे. आजकल वो स्थिति बदल गई है समाज की. सो यू फाइंड आउट पीपल हु आर रियली पुअर एंड नीडी. सो वी हैव आइडेंटिफाइड दैट एंड वहां करते हैं. एंड यू शुड सी द जॉय ऑन देयर फेसेस व्हेन दे ईट, व्हेन दे हैव, ओह, मजा आ जाता है. वो करना चाहिए. सो आई होप and best wishes to all of you for making the most of this auspicious time which comes every year. So Hari Om Tat Sat. Namo Narayan. Jai Ho.
Namo Narayan, Swamiji.
Namo Narayan.
Namo Narayan, Swami.
Namo Narayan ji. So we'll meet now again tomorrow.